Hey everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntax Live. How you guys doing? I'm doing okay. It's been a really jacked up couple of days. But we are all here and we're all ready to rock and roll. First things first, as I pop a top and get my drink ready for tonight, and I sure hope all you do the same. Let's get things started right.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, they're not quite nominal sensors right now because, I don't know what it was, but something hit me between the eyes, and I don't know if it's you guys too, but it's like 3 o'clock this afternoon. I just was like, oh, crap, shutting down. But I didn't have a choice. And here's to everybody's health. All right. I got a whole list of stuff to go over, and first things first, I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and I want to thank Steve. He actually got ahead of everybody. He's going to try and be in the chat tonight, but he did send his super chat early, which I appreciate, just in case. And what the hell? Oh, okay, down here. We got an MTF guard with $10 super chat already, and he's trying to be first. And he didn't quite beat War Sniper in, as he rushed into the chat here. Let me get MTF guard here. And he says, weekly paycheck. Hope you enjoy, and I hope you get the clips I sent you. Yeah, it was just 2, but better than nothing. Yep, and one of them was really short, and yes, they are loaded. And just because you did that, let me get over here, and it's kind of a short one. But, okay, here it is.
Something to think about if you throw trash on Texas highways. Somebody up there is going to be watching.
I remember that a long time ago. They made a big deal about that, even up where I was living. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I still got everybody else, and...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is, because even as I'm saying this, the Guardian Sage comes in with his $10, and again, very much appreciated, and he's got his standards.
Greetings, mortals and other assorted beings.
And very much appreciate that, Guardian. And along with you, Guard, very much appreciated. And just like having you guys here. So, yeah, that was a commercial, and it's actually more of a PSA. Anyway, let me get that down. Just realized what was in the background. Anyway, on to here. Just want to jump right into the Unknown Fleet. Unknown Fleet has ended for now. It could, but I left it open, and if you didn't figure it out, if you look at the thumbnail, you know exactly where it's going to be going. I know you guys are big players, and I got really cool. I got about 60% done with the story, and I started thinking, okay, I'm going to have to wrap this up. How do I tie it in a bow where you guys are going to get a kick out of it? And I hope you did, because, like I said, I know you guys are big fans of that game. I don't get a chance to game much, but it is what it is. All right. I do have to say that a few new subscribers started jumping into the comment section, and I appreciate that, guys, because YouTube's new thing is putting in something or other in the comment section down there in the Meat Gazer box, and or the clan box, or however you want to put it. Yeah, it's I appreciate new subscribers, guys. I'm still bleeding them out, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh shit. I hold. Whoa. What's a good button for that?
What the fuck?
I don't know if you guys see the chat box. Some folks, you guys listen. I know you just do. But Douglas is down there, and he says, sadly, I can't donate for the rest of the month due to my first grandchild coming through, or coming soon. And congratulations, my friend. That is huge. I don't even have kids, so I'm never going to see that. So, I mean, here's to you, and here's to good health of the child. Boy, I'm thirsty. Okay. Yes. Send him the congratulations. All right. A few folks were talking about ripping stuff off or not getting certain phrases right. I got to be careful that I don't actually quote things exactly, especially when it's a long phrase. I can get tagged for plagiarism on that, and then the channel takes a hit. So if it sounds close, yeah, that's why it was just close. Oh, I look over and Erica is already here. Wow, shit, everybody's jumping in. Cool. And she says, "Thank you for everything." Well, thank you for being here. I mean, everybody knows they like you here, as outrageous, as truly outrageous as you are. And adding into the conversation, I'm sure someone's going to give you a head pat. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right. I do have on my notes here pictures for shout outs, guys. Guard sends me a lot. So I got a whole plethora of stuff. I haven't gotten too much from anybody. Guardian sent me one. If you guys have anything specific and you've not sent me anything, you got to let me know. Okay. There's a few folks out there that I can only wing it, really, and nobody said anything. Like Steve, I found out he's a doc, so he gets the medic stuff each time. And I do try to find the funny stuff, guys, but there's seriously limits. I mean, I don't see Demon in the chat now, but I got a whole bunch of Demon stuff I can use. But try to find Demon memes without going into Demon Hunter, Slayer, whatever the hell anime. Oi, Chihuahua. All right. So just let me know if there's something specific. Yeah. All right. One of the key things in Unknown Fleet, a lot of people put comments on this. The whole family is more than blood. Yes, that is a big deal. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us are getting towards my age now. Or in one case, I won't mention who, but he's getting a grandchild, so he's probably older than me. But yeah, we learned that at a very early age. I'm late Gen X, and most Gen X guys fall into this. We still have people we know where we could call and say, show up, bring a shovel, and they'll come help you bury a body, no questions asked. But yeah, when it comes to any type of war story, it's kind of hard not to hit any type of refugees. The only reason I try not to hit that all the time is because of the crossover that has with politics right now. So if it seems like I'm dodging certain subjects, that's just to keep the channel safe. He missed Vietnam by that much. All right. I just seen the comments. All right. Let's see what's down here. Okay. Somebody did get the reference that I put in on Unknown Fleet when they actually, the Yippies, and who the hell likes Yippies? Nobody likes Yippies. Dang Yippies. When they killed off all the food supply, whether it was deliberate or undeliberate, and that was, yes, that came straight from the starving out of certain Native Americans, where they would just send guys out with 1,000 rounds of ammunition and said, that's 1,000 buffalo you have to shoot. Well, that doesn't make any sense, really, unless you're literally trying to starve someone out, which is exactly what they did. So yes, you guys know I like to take from history, and anybody who's working on especially military science fiction, hard science fiction, you need to dig into old military. We got Douglas here who says he missed Vietnam, but he grew up in that era. I guarantee he knows people who told him some shit. So if he wanted to write one, that's where he would base his stuff off of. Me, I do a lot of research to get stuff from other wars. And it's always fun, at least for me, to excuse me, to talk to the older guys, at least when I was actually in, because I'd always get this, how the fuck did you learn how to do that? Well, I listened to this other guy. He said it worked in Korea, and now it works now on you. You sneaky son of a bitch. And just kind of go off. Come on. It's showing off without showing off. And who doesn't like to show off without showing off? Yes, somebody, you guys, I know you guys got the whole thing about fleet status. Hold on, let me say this right.
Fleet status angry.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is somebody put in the comment section, just like shooting John Wick's dog or taking a pop shot at Doc. You just don't do it. And yeah, it was also put in here that a few folks mentioned how AI would think they're immortal and they're just going to exist forever, and all of a sudden this new weapon punched a hole in it literally. And they're like, oh shit, well, now I need to protect myself, and now I know you're going to come and kill me, so I'm going to take you out. But yes, that's originally there was going to be a little side script inside the drone fleet where you actually were inside the drone fleet, and you would see inside their matrix, so to speak, where they were basically like acting like real people as their own avatars dealing with each other. But days in their time would only be seconds for us. The reason I skipped that was really simple. It would be too hard for me to articulate without some sort of image. I tried. God help me, I tried. But working down the actual science to do this actually turned into a complete verbal diarrhea mess. It was just so screwed up. And even as I'm writing it, I'm like, this doesn't make, hold on. And I'm not only reading it in my mind, I then read it out loud and went, no, just no. However, on that same note, thank you somebody for bringing this joke. I am glad you brought this joke in, because somebody thought that the drone fleet, the unknown fleet, was going to go to the Yippie's home planet and start saying, exterminate, exterminate. As soon as I read that, I just about coughed on my coffee. I was just like, yes, that is funny. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that. Let's see. One of the jokes that apparently did land, however, most people didn't get it, is when the Yippies tried to run away and they ended up taking a few shots right in their ass or aft. And yeah, you unload one into their aft. You know, you got to get the dirty jokes in there somehow. All right. All right. A few of you brought up the fact that the other species that the Yippies are fighting, it's actually 2 species, not 3. How one of them will actually use the Yippies as a food source. And originally, I was going to have them look almost exactly like the Fa that got wiped out. The reason I didn't is because people would start thinking that the Fa was the other, like an offshoot of that same species. And then it'd be just this entire mess. Could I bring that in? Sure. Will I? I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I was not doing CRISPR product placement. Whoever put that into the comment section. No, I was just using it as basically a MacGuffin, trying to make sure that I could get things done. And no, okay, I got it. And this is the last part here. A lot of you guys missed the reference. I'm sure somebody out there did. Hold on. But here's the thing. When the metal piece, and I know it's been out for like 2 days, so I'm not doing spoilers. When the metal shuttle went to Pulaski's ship and landed in the bay and then split into 2, and there were 2 robots, I don't think I didn't put in as much of a description. But if they both look female, they both have solid plate faces and blonde braided hair, I wonder what other 2 robots recently could it be that had that same look? I wonder what game that might have come from. Put it in the comments or the chat box if you guys know, and I'm going to go over. That's going to be a test for later. But right now, I'm going to be going over something familiar. All right. There wasn't a lot in there to go over, but yes, the fact that PTSD is a real bitch. We do have a few veterans in here, and you guys know how bad that can be, how annoying it truly is. I mean, it's seriously, seriously annoying. Sometimes you just can't sleep. Sometimes you can't keep yourself awake. Sometimes you don't eat. Sometimes you just gorge. It's crazy. It just takes you over. But yeah, that's going to be a running gag through the whole thing. I don't mean to say running gag, but I'm sure you guys have actually seen. Oh, is Guardian leaving? Okay, see you, Guardian. Anyway, that character has multiple lifetimes, which means he's had multiple times where he's seen shit really, really bad. He hasn't forgotten any of it. Sometimes he tries to suppress it. So, and that's already come up in the story already. So yeah, it's going to be recurring. It's never going to go away with him. Oddly enough, I did come across a study that says if you have a traumatic event, try playing Tetris. There's something about that lessens the PTSD effects. I don't know what it is. That just came out recently. I don't get it. I do have to say, with the Something Familiar story, it takes a long time to do that one. We're talking anywhere from 10 to 20 pages of, I don't have it on me. There's no spaces. There's like, if you looked at this one, there's plenty of gaps. There's plenty of empty space right now. When I do Something Familiar, there's no gaps. There's no space. There's no paragraphs. It's just written out continuously. Every single word. Unless I'm going through it later and I have to inject a few things. So that's why it takes so long. There was a big question on how long you got to wait for it. I try to get them out as fast as I can. I have limits. All right. I will say this. Apparently, you guys got a pretty big kick out of the fact that the ladies of that motley crew going over the mountain seem to all have a taste for beaver. They want to just dive in that beaver as soon as this opened up and just stick their face in it and make all sorts of juicy noises as they start chewing away at it. Enjoying the flavor, enjoying the aroma. How far do I have to go with this joke? Because I'm running out of shit to say. Maybe they like their beaver, skin, so maybe they like it bald. Maybe they like their fairy beaver. I don't know. All I know is beaver is real beaver, honest to God. I've had it in a skewer before, and done right, it's delicious.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What that is a $10 super chat from the SS Demon, the actual story creator of the drone fleet. Now, if I was to sit here and actually read what he sent as far as the drone fleet, you guys be sitting there like, is he reading off a technical manual? That's how it reads. So, but still. Anyways, says, I enjoyed the fleet video, Sin. Listening to the playlist has given me ideas I'll send once I work them out for a possible season 2. And I think I figured out my YouTube problem. Thanks for everything. Oh, hey, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you got that figured out. Because let's face it, we all got problems. It's nice when we get rid of one or two of them. But thank you again, Demon, along with Erica, Guardian, Guard, and Steve. Appreciate it. All right. But yeah, that may or may not end up being a running joke. It might just be those 2 episodes as far as the beaver in the face. At least I can say that without getting the stream canceled, because I'm actually talking about the critter. But yeah, the main thing I have here is how long do you have to wait? As soon as I get it written. I'm only about 2 pages in right now. It takes about an hour and a half to even get through half a page. And the problem is I keep getting pulled up. We had a family kind of half emergency the other day, and that shot everything in the ass. I had another family emergency over the weekend, and that's actually why there was a skip day after Unknown Fleet was finished. I had something else lined up, which, by the way, is the one that's dropping tonight. That was supposed to drop this morning. It didn't because I got pulled off on the side. So I apologize for that, but my schedule will do what my schedule does. All right. Before I jump into the next one, I'm going to throw on this other quick clip, which is actually very quick. And yeah, there's some Brits talking on the tank for you. All right, let me put that back on. All right. Just so I know when anybody else sends a super chat, I'm going to be going over some of the pieces here that, well, I just wonder why in the ever-loving Fuckle Knuckles we cannot get a good show or a good game for that matter. And you guys who are gamers, it's no wonder you guys are sticking with the one good one that comes out every, what has come out in like 4 or 5 years. Apparently, World of Warships and War Thunder and stuff like that is friggin' awesome. I've never played it. I'd love to. I mean, me personally, I would turn it into like Baradol and his channel about BattleTech on MechWarrior Online. However, I don't have that type of time to spend on it. And me personally, I would actually show where, hey, this mech worked great, but my team went to shit, but we still lost the match. He likes to only show matches where he wins, trying to make himself look better. How do I know this? I've actually played on while he was recording, and I saw him on the other team, and I told my guys, hey, you guys better win or you're going to end up on YouTube. They didn't believe me. And maybe 2 weeks later, as I was playing, sure enough, somebody came in and he found my handle again. He's like, that son of a bitch actually put it on there when his team won. I was like, I told you, and watch. If he's in there again and you beat his ass, it's never going to be on YouTube. Anyway, sorry, side rant on that. Sorry, this thing's blocking me. Anyways, the reason I bring up about TV, movies, and video games is because there's been a lot of what the fuck were they thinking? I need where's that line? Oh yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, it's total what the fuck. And it makes you want I look at these guys and say,
congratulations, you played yourself.
It's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to go down these. They're no particular order. Although I will let you know that Netflix is beyond redemption now. They've partnered with Ubisoft. And one of the ways they show that they totally do not care about source material. They care nothing. All they care about is the message. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Some of you guys are probably anime fans, all right? Follow me on this. Just follow me down the rabbit hole just a little bit. If you're an anime fan, there's an anime that I'm not a big fan of, but guess what? A lot of people are. It's called One Piece. They got this one lady. She acts like a queen. She's got the blue hair. I mean, that's just kind of how you tell them apart because most of the faces are very, very similar. But she's got this big hair, and she's just either Caucasian or Asian woman because they put very pale coloring on her body. What did they do? They decided to race swap. They decided to blackwash the character and just have this little blue stain, like a little jizz mark down her face from her hair. And a woman who is actually a little overweight too. I'm like, no, you can't do that. Okay. First off, I don't care about the race swap if she does a good job. However, if you're going to do blue hair, it's all or nothing. And two, you got to remember that these are all pirates. They are living off whatever they can catch out of the ocean. They are all very, very, very thin with very few exceptions. And she's not one of them. And it's the same thing I was saying about Ahsoka, the woman who played the live action character. She did a shit job. She was miscast. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We can't even enjoy anything. These live action things they're doing, they suck so much. I'm just unbelievably thirsty. All right. And it's not just One Piece. I don't know if you guys saw, but they're redoing Pirates of the Caribbean. Guess who they swapped out Jack Sparrow with? If you answered diversity higher, ding, 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 tell them what you won, Johnny. And I'm just sitting there like, what? They tried this before. Okay, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was before Pirates of the Caribbean. They had a female pirate captain, and it's like Blood something. And I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I don't remember what it was. It was cheesy. It was corny. And I'm sorry, this woman can't weigh 90 pounds soaking wet, and she's facing down guys 3 times her size, actually like physically facing them down. When she outsmarts people, I'll give her all the passes ever. But no, no, just no. It didn't work. But anyways, it's just it irks me, guys, when we have an actual set characters and they decide to screw these up. If they're set characters, you just got to work with. When I did the DC comic one, everybody was the same set character. I don't linger on them because I don't know which personality to use exactly for each individual universe. So I glaze over a lot of them. That being said, you got to work with what's there. Let's see. My next note here, the new Elder Scrolls coming out. You might as well just throw a pronoun party for every single one of them. And guess what they're going after that? Warhammer 40K. Oh, fuck. I know you guys are fans. I know a lot of you out there are fans of Warhammer. And the fact that they're going to sit there and do the whole, like, what was it? The name of the guards, I'm sure you guys are going to put in there. They're like, oh, well, women were in that too. It was in the lore. They actually forbid that. So they're going to go away from it. And it doesn't surprise me because, as you know, Witcher Season 4 is out, and without Henry Cavill, because Henry Cavill actually gives a fuck about the actual story. He cares about the lore. He follows a lot of it. Now, granted, I have a hard time listening to his real voice because me listening to him with an accent will just throw it out. And Astartes, that's what it is. Yeah, there were, and yeah, I'm not even a 40K fan. And when that came out that they were putting, they're going to try and no, they're not rebooting. They're going to basically kill off Jack Sparrow and bring her in. Now, I don't know exactly how that's going to work. If it can work, I don't think it can. But yeah, when you look at the new Witcher 4 and what they're doing, everybody's saying the same thing. Not only are the leaks saying this, but every one of the folks who looks at the trailer really close says the same thing. You can't call it The Witcher anymore. It's the Yennefer show. It's the 2 women that were, I guess, his love interests or something. It's turning from The Witcher to them. And all I can say is what? But it makes sense why they would do this. Now, if any of you guys know this show called Castle, okay, I don't know the name of the actor who's on there. If you know, go ahead and put in the comments. He was also on Firefly. He was basically he was a writer who was working with the cops because he could weave a narrative together and figure shit out where they didn't see where the lines actually linked. He could. Well, if you actually bothered to sit and watch the show with a clinical eye, because my father he still likes the show, we joke, we call it the Beckett Show, not Castle. It's the Beckett Show because he was a sub character in his own freaking show. He was never the one to fight. He was never the one to shoot. He would always give tips, but he never actually figured shit out on his own. He always had to have help. I'm like, ah ha 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 ha. If you're gonna have a show like a named character, if they said, "Oh, look, here's the show Dexter," but we're gonna focus almost solely on his assistant or somebody like that, how does that make any sense? It doesn't. And this is what I'm talking about: is they're taking a narrative that follows one person, like, oh, I don't know, Halo, and they tried to push Chief out of the way and bring in El Duce, whatever the fuck his name was. The guy who was totally bald, he looked like a penis. I mean, shit. And of course, he fucked things up really bad. I mean, he wasn't a fun character to play. He wasn't a fun character to listen to. And honestly, I didn't care. I played it because it was the next Halo game. I bought a new system because of that game. And honestly, I regret making that purchase. Of course, that's what happens when people who build the game hate it. Anyway, or should I say, but one would think that they're going to have some better stuff down the road. Nope. Square Enix, like I said before, is now changing everything they have, everything that's coming out for modern audiences. Oh, every time I hear that, my brain hurts. Ugh. It just, why can't we get something we can enjoy? Whatever happened to the badass motherfucker who just goes into the room with a machine gun, with the AK-47?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is right, because we have Brian Kemp with a $10 super chat. And he says, great stories. Well, thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate your patronage. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody being here on this basically unhinged TED Talk rant as I go down how bad things are getting as far as entertainment goes. And it's just messed up. So before I keep going again, once again, thank you, Brian, and back to it. And wow. Okay. I was when I was writing this, I wasn't actually looking. Okay. If you guys know Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell is going down too. They've actually started they're bringing out a movie, an animated movie based on the video game. And guess what? The main character is not going to be the main character. They're trying to push the main character. I guess Snake was his name. They're pushing him, or no, what is the other one? They're pushing him out, and they're bringing in the progressive. Oh, my head hurts. I'm like, that's not what we want to watch. They don't understand. Okay. And it's just, okay. You know what? I have more on this subject. I'm tired of talking about the woke shit. Let's actually change gears here for a minute. Let me find my gear shift. Let me pull the e-brake. Okay. And I just hit my hand real hard. Ow. Maybe I should talk about beavers more again.
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
All right. Now, here's something I've been finding a lot lately, and this ought to be a little bit more interesting for you guys. The 23rd September of this year. Now, when I first heard about this, a lot of folks were like, it doesn't mean anything. Then other folks started looking into it. And I do a lot of research for my stories. But that means I also fumble across a bunch of stuff. Now, the 23rd of September has some sort of significance. I have no idea what, but there's something going on. A lot of people are saying it's when they're going to try to force the next reset or something like that. I don't fucking know. All I know is it keeps coming up in all the different things like The Simpsons and South Park, and even in different movies. A bunch of video games. If you look in the background, it's written down as the date they use. I don't know why, but it says that day, that year, 23rd September 2025. I'm not sure. You guys put your predictions in the chat box, and we're about to get in the chat box as soon as I find us a really wrong button here. as soon as I find a movie here for you guys, and randomly, eeny, meeny, miny, you.
We have most of the zones.
All right. I believe the word for that video was run, motherfucker, run! Run! Okay. All right, let me scroll up here and we will go right about here. Okay. Yeah, Douglas, as far as how old you are, that's going to be believe it or not, you're about a little bit younger than my dad, but only by a couple of years. All right. I'm guessing War Sniper said something to Erica. Speaking of which, War Sniper, there you go. Let's see. Alan says, yeah, Doug, I still remember that Kia Troop Country Night. Okay, you got me. I don't know what you guys got. No. Okay, Doug says, Vietnam was not a country you wanted to be in. After all, they beat the Mongols 3 times, hands down, with smaller forces. What'd they beat them with? Something so they swing and slap them across the face with it? Although right now you're probably looking at, excuse me, what did he say? Never mind. All right. Erica says, rule 1, there's thousands of ways to die in space and they all suck. Rule 2, don't piss off sapient AI. Yeah, I saw you put that in the chat, and I agree. Same thing. They actually did the same thing in BattleTech. It wasn't fully sapient yet, but it was pretty close. The actual drone fleet they had to take care of before they could invade Terra, i.e. Earth. And yeah, it was bad. Lena says, space is big enough for their butts to be shot. The problem is the boat's going to take a long time to get there. Guardian, you making me laugh here. Remember, always aim for the tailpipe. You know, it's actually interesting that in Star Trek, actually, that's how, if I remember correctly, they beat Khan. They programmed a torpedo to fly through and find the exhaust port, i.e. the ass. And that's how they shot it. Literally, they sent it out and it sniffed out a fart and hit the ship. Oh, man. Oh, man. Speaking of Trek, I'm sure you guys have seen the guy who played Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager. He probably shot himself in the ass as far as any other employment. He's already been kicked out of at least one panel that I'm aware of, like not really a Comic-Con, but another event he was going to be at. He couldn't keep his political mouth shut. And yeah, he's going to pay the price. You guys know I try to avoid politics. I got, from my other channel, I'm actually compiling a list of shorts I got to make. Actually, one I can go over right now. It's real simple. The 7 core Army values. If you read them, it looks like the acronym leadership. Loyalty, duty, respect, honor, integrity, personal courage. Well, how about this? Every guy wants honor. And I guarantee all you, every guy here probably just went, well, yeah, no shit. You want to be honored, right? Well, to be honored, you need respect. You need to be respected. Fair enough, right? How do you get respected? You need integrity. That's 3 of the 7 I just listed off, and it keeps going back down. If you look at them in a certain way, it makes a lot of sense. So, but a lot of these folks, they don't get it. Okay. War Sniper says, and the head. Don't forget the head. Always aim for the head. Yeah. Just as Thanos, aim for the head. Yep. At Thomas. Oh, atomize. Yep. Let's see. Yep, everybody's saying bye, but he's still driving, he's still listening. Guard says, "Oh yeah, Atomic Heart. That's what you're referencing. Yes, 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 yes. Congratulations. You are the winner here. Yeah, you're the first one to get it, Guard." And they're still yelling. Okay, good God, that thing keeps going on for a long time. All right, but yes, that was it. Basically, the AI had become so much of a friend that they wanted to protect him and they wanted to protect his lineage. Let's see. Guard says, I only played a little bit of it and then I lost interest. Oh, Atomic Heart? Yeah. Honestly, all that did was open up for a bunch of Rule 34.
Swing!
And we all know it's on Rule 34. And so, yeah. He continues with, mostly lost it because I was seeing videos of people with weapons and parts of the game I was at, but didn't get those weapons due to lack of resources. Huh, really? That's interesting. Now the Battletech game I can't finish. It always starts you off random. I swear there's a program in there. If you're looking for a certain weapon or a certain mech, it just won't give it to you for a long time. Me personally, if I can get a hold of a Annihilator and put like 2 AT, not Ultras, but basically they're big cannons with canister shells on them, and you aim for the head, you're almost every single time you're going to dome that motherfucker and you get a free mech. And you can make a lot of money that way. The problem is getting one and then getting the right weapons. The only issue with that is you're very restricted on ammo. Very restricted. Douglas says here, I can feel sympathy for species that are highly empathic or telepathic. Touching some minds would be traumatic and could induce PTSD. I was thinking about doing one of those where somebody looked into a human's mind and totally like freaked out or went kind of catatonic again. But there are so many of those now. I don't know who started that whole thing, but they did a really good job. I think I heard the original that they pulled off of Reddit, and it was pretty good. Eric is saying, please, no more beaver jokes. War Sniper, is it beaverish, Erica? I'm feeling a little beaverish here. It's kind of warm. Anyways, Guard says pretty much the entire bad luck with the game RPG is just stop playing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It it's probably got a randomizer in it. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Demon says, my comments do not show up in videos unless you sort them from top to newest. Sometimes they have to sort back and forth for them to load. I had multiple people test it, then they show up. Comments show up videos. No, yeah. Okay, so when YouTube scrambles them, I always have them sorted that exact way. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. That's weird. If I was going to sort them all, it would probably take me all day to go through every single series I've got and go one by one. Because to do that, I actually have to pull them off of that playlist, put them on a separate playlist, every single one, then go back and do them in order one at a time and hope it stays. I forget which series it was. I did that like 3 times in a row, and it was just, yeah, I wanted to scream because they kept changing it. But at least you got it figured out. Douglas says, one of the reasons I have stopped playing MechWarrior is too many people cheat. Too many people have also, well, yeah, they do. That was a big problem for a long time. But there's also the clans. And I don't mean the clans like Clan Wolf and Jaguar and all that stuff. I mean the actual clans where buddies have sat there and sand tabled exactly what they want to do. They're like, okay, we're on this map. We have these mechs. Here's the plan we're going to do. And I've actually seen that in the team chat before we start. You'll get like half the team or more is all one clan. They all got the same icon on the side. And you're like, okay, let's go for attack pattern Alpha Juliet 3. And you're like, what the hell are they talking about? They just follow us and stay behind the line. We're like, what are you talking about? Oh, or flank left and do that. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And next thing you know, you could literally sit back and they will just end the entire team on the other side by themselves. That's what actually, you can't just go in and putz around and enjoy yourself. You have to be a almost professional player, which, yes, I can see that pissing you off. They even have the whole thing with rockets where you can put in like 20 rocket pods and then you just put that on a light mech, get behind somebody, you literally launch one right up their keister and you will end any assault mech you hit, any mech, period. The only hard part is getting close. But once you get that shot lined up, you just press one button, you'll overheat and die, but you're going to take out their strongest mech. It's crazy. Lena says, it's really fun to play Dreadnoughts from the point of view of the Japanese Empire. You get to go watch China and Russia collapse into communism in the 1900s. Oi. Now, the only Dreadnought game I know of is the actual like space Dreadnoughts, and I'm assuming that's not what you're talking about. They did have the Dreadnoughts game, which unfortunately was not balanced correctly, and that's why a lot of people didn't like it. The fact that you're like with these massive ships that are about the size of Manhattan, and you literally have to be at point blank range to make sure you get a shot is, well, stupid. It really didn't make sense to me. Excuse me. Demon says, you should be able to see all but one of my super thanks on the fleet videos now, Sin. I'm still dealing with support about the first video because that's one just gone for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why either. You're going to have to deal with them on that. I'm at a complete loss. But at least you're getting it figured out because not that I'm demanding any of the cash. It'd be nice if you got the stuff you sent returned, if nothing else. That'd make me happy because I hate when people get ripped off. I really do. It just pisses me off. I hate getting set up for failure, and I don't do that to anyone else. Let's see. Lena's here. He says, you mean One Piece? Yes. By the way, I figured out the whole One Piece thing. It's actually beyond simple, even before they even did it. He melted all his stuff down into his ship, and he sunk the damn ship. That's where his treasure is. So, yeah. He continues with, I always thought that Ahsoka is a cartoon character. She was a CGI character. The voice actress did an amazing job with that character. They built her up from the very ground up as basically a petulant child who her first time out basically got a reality check and almost got herself killed a couple times. And after that, once she got humbled, she got better. But as she got into her teen years, she got rebellious, which is what she does. And when she was just about out of her teen years, that's when the Clone Wars ended and she left. But at that point, she had matured to a point where she was like mature for her age, mentally at least. The only thing I didn't like what they did, but I like it at the same time, is they showed how absolutely horrible that the Jedi actually are. And it's generational. And I'll show you exactly who it was. If you look into the lore, and yes, I know enough about the lore. If you look at the guy who died on the first episode 1 movie, he did not stick with the one woman that the Force brought him right to and he fell in love with. He went back to the Order because he's been so brainwashed and waxed that he couldn't get away from it. The same thing with his apprentice, which is basically his son, Obi-Wan, with the queen over there, the Mandalorian queen. He left her even though he fell in love with her and was probably banging the shit out of her, but he went back to the Order. And then his apprentice, Shocker, which is basically his son, said, fuck it, I'm going to go and get married in secret. And, but doing that ate at him because his sense of duty was tearing him apart, even though he was happy with his own kids. And, well, of course, Palpatine was playing with his head. But what happened? His daughter, because Ahsoka was his Padawan, basically daughter, she had, I believe his name was Lux or however you're supposed to pronounce that. The Force brought those together twice in the show. They should have linked up then, even though they were a different species. I don't give a shit. That's commonplace in the Star Wars universe. And still, the Jedi Order, oh, you got to abide by our rules. No attachment or anything. Unless you're attached to the Jedi Order, that's okay. The rules are only good when we make it. Fuck you. What is that? 4 lives in a row. 4 generations. They fucked them up. So, you know what? The Jedi can find the darkest part of my ass and kiss it repeatedly. And they can follow up by licking my nuts. Ugh. But I'm sorry about the side rant, guys, but it pisses me off when they destroy a good character. And even though it's only subtext, at least I will give them this. At least they showed how horrible these supposed good guys actually are. And I've been saying it for decades. There is no good guys in Star Wars, long before somebody did a video on it. All right, back to the chats here. Guard says, wait, which character did they screw up with that? I mean, I watched it and it was pretty good, unless they released the 2nd season, and I haven't been paying attention. Which character? Which series? Are you? On One Piece. It was fuck. I didn't write it down, and now I'm kind of wishing I did. I told myself to write it down. I didn't. She's like a queen type girl, because they showed the picture where she's supposed to be sitting on a throne. Now, the actual cartoon, she's standing straight and a little proud for herself, but whatever. And the race swap is sitting there all slouched, like, whatever. I'm too good for this. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay, here's the question I had before. Guard says, wait, they're actually going through with redoing Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack Sparrow? I think they're going to try a handoff. A lot of people are still, because the whole Amber Heard thing, are trying to stay away from Johnny Depp. I would have thought that shit would have blown over, no pun intended, considering what Amber Heard did to his bed. But yeah, he continues with, I mean, hell, that's almost as bad as them remaking the whole Harry Potter franchise, but blackwashing, Asian washing, and Hispanic washing half of the cast. I mean, yeah, Snape is black in it, but the guy who's playing Snape really liked his character in the books and the movies, and pretty much said he would only accept a role if they had made him stay true. Hey, I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. I appreciate when an actor actually gives a shit about what they're doing. And you know what? Anybody else who doesn't can fuck right off. Fuck right off. That's what my chickens sound like when they're laying eggs. They can fuck right off. And by the way, you want to send that to Grunt Speak, they can use that. Okay, Lena says, Pirates of the Caribbean lost the plot. Without that guy, they can't do Jack Sparrow. Honestly, they had set it up where the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise would have only lasted another movie or two, and it would have been done, because by the timeline of our planet, with the East India Trading Company, that's when the actual, honest to God, Navy was starting to come in. Different nation navies were coming in force, and they did one hell of a number on the pirates that were in that area. Now, don't get me wrong, pirates they were actual seamen. Most of them went to piracy because they got not booted out of the Navy, but the Navy just downsized and told them to, well, like the chickens say, fuck right off. And They said, okay, I know how to do one thing or two things. I know how to sail and I know how to fight. So what do I do? Well, I'm going to capitalize on that. And they did that wonderfully. Sorry, guys. I'm just really, really thirsty. Guards here says, so they're trying to go for round 3 against Warhammer community with trying to put women in space or women in the Space Marines. And is it custodian? No, it's what the hell was it? Astartes. Yeah, this is one of the things my father's actually right about. Well, he's actually right about a lot, but this one, he keeps saying, you got to watch. You get all these young guys or girls coming in out of college where all they know is indoctrination. And so they try to insert that into whatever new area they're going to be. Now, it's really bad if the son or daughter of the CEO or owner comes in and just gives them free reign over the company. And just like any other malarkey with kings and queens, and yes, it is malarkey, then you are, as it says, you're one generation from failure. Just one. Which is 100% true. But you never know when that's going to happen. Let's see. Guard says, Unisoft's already failed twice. And you want to go for a third round like hell. It was so bad for the female custodians that they got retconned as a non-canon story. Okay. Now they're trying to add female Astartes, and they're going to go out to the assistance of battle the whole trans BS. Oh, God help us. And they tried pulling at that same time with a female custodian. What the fuck? You don't put modern politics into a future sci-fi. You only do that during jokes and I mean, come on, Spaceballs is full of that shit. But that's a satire, not this real thing. He continues with, yeah, they did that, or during one of the books, or Wandering Traitor is looking into a Sisters of Battle background and says, you were once a man. And she's like, yeah, once. So war wound, he got his cock and ball shot off. Is that what's going on? And he continues again. That's also got the overwhelming amount of hate it deserves, because the way a sister battle is made is just like how Space Marines are made. You can't do one of the opposite sex. It kills them. Yeah. As a side note, by the way, when I used to write commissioned work, and I'll say commissioned work in quotes because it was a lot of, how do I put this nicely? Quagmire, help me out.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
That's the majority, like 90% of what people wanted made. Very few wanted actual story. When folks wanted that sort of thing with a swap over, I said, you do realize I got to change them down to the genetic level. They said, oh, no, just do it. Just fix it your way. I was like, okay, but you're going to be confused. And I had to actually talk about the different chromosome effects and actually create a completely different chromosome series to adjust the body to do that. Our current technology can't do that, just to change it into basically something else that's looks human but is actually not. It's yeah. More often than not, every time I went through it, it would actually kill him. It's just the only time I ever was able to get it done right, so to speak, is well, again, change the genetic code, change the hormones literally into something else. So you couldn't have testosterone, you couldn't have estrogen. It was a bio mix, but you can't mix the two because they're opposites. They're like oil and water. They won't connect like that. That's why you have very little of one and a lot of the other, depending on which way you are. So I had to bring in a completely different hormone that bridges the gap along with another catalyst that actually makes it so they will work with each other. So I'm just like, this fills up like 5 pages and I only got 10 because this guy only wants to pay me so much. What the fuck? And then he tried to not pay me. I was like, yeah, no, this isn't how it works. So anyway, let me get back up to the comment section with Demon here. He says, in my opinion, Halo 4 was the last decent Halo. Sure, it has its flaws, but I didn't mind it. Hated Halo 5 and Infinite has so much content you have to read the books to maybe understand anything. It's dumb. With Halo, I'm sorry to say,
Game over, man. It's game over.
it's just crazy. It makes you just want to
Ejecting
out of there. Let's see. Guard says that has literally been established lore for both factions since day one and has been hammered into the community since day one. But now Amazon got their grubby little hands on it and they want to change it. Yep. I'm sure he's talking about Warhammer. And yeah, he's continuing with that. It's just, man, it hurts my brain, really. It really does hurt my brain. I mean, can it be done to mix the two or to change over? To do a complete changeover? Yes. To do a mix? Not so much. Especially if you wanted to keep certain aspects, it just, no. Everything would degrade. Okay, Erica says, the wrecking of entertainment is part of the you will own nothing and be happy agenda. God damn it, Erica, why do you got to get ahead of me? Fuck. You'll know what I mean tonight after midnight. Anyways, Brian says, castle actor is Nathan Phil. I'm going to mispronounce it. Fillion. Okay. I don't really follow actors. That's why I'm a little lost on that one. I know he did basically a high on Big Bang Theory, but good God, I'm thirsty. Anyway, Guards here says, thank you, because I actually forgot about who the actor was. Okay, good to go. Guardian just made it home. It's 1906. There we go. Hey, that was a good year for rifles. Let's see. War Sniper says, artificial wombs are now a thing, Sin, so you only have to go to China and pay $40K, pun intended, to $14K, and you can not only get a robot wife, but also with a baby growing in its womb. Yeah, that actual picture of the robot holding, the jar around the middle, that was all CGI. That's not how those work. The robot is actually separate. And if you do get the moving robot, it's honestly, it looks like an urban mech. It's a big trash can. Now, if they've been able to upgrade them, I haven't seen it. But yeah, the thing is, I don't trust anything that comes out of China at all, because I've had headphones that I've got for this for here from China, and they've fallen the hell apart. These ones were actually made in Taiwan, actually. But most everything from China is just garbage. It's what do they call it? I'm trying to remember. It's a tofu dreg construction. Literally falls apart in your hand. But yeah, one of the things with the artificial wombs, if they start making them here in the U.S., a lot of people are going to say, yes, finally. And a lot of people are going to say, I want that to be illegal. But that's going into a little bit of politics, and we're not going to go there. Okay, Demon says, I start my new job on the 29th. I'll be on day shift for a few weeks for training, so I'll be around for a few more live streams. And I'm going to parrot what MTF Guard says. Good to hear. Very good to hear. I'm sure everybody wants to see you. And Hopefully, after you get off your training, you don't end up going,
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
all right. Lena says, my favorite video game is Portal 2. Gun turret shooting 60% more bullet. More DACA, more better, right? Alan says, Nightly KIA. Nightly? Which Nightly? The Nightly KIA listed on the news. Okay. Yeah, I don't live in those areas. I kind of got away from that shit. When I was in Colorado, and no shit, I'm just sitting there watching a movie. I thought there was gunshots on the screen. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Somebody actually putting a couple bullets into an SUV outside. I rush and get my cordless hole puncher, and I rush out. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Some guy's getting in the SUV, getting ready to leave. I was like, what, huh? And I end up calling the cops. It took them like an hour to get there. And for a second, they thought I was growing pot on my freaking balcony. I said, no, it's vegetables. Some peppers, some green beans, stuff like that. So I have something to snack on. Fuckers showed back up a couple hours later. One guy distracted me, and the female went over there and stripped the goddamn plants, bitch. And a lot of people are like, you should do a complaint. Where's the evidence? It's crap now. So yeah, they got me. Sometimes you got to pick your battles, and this ain't one of them. Okay, Demon says the 23rd is my last day of the current job. Well, hey, you're moving on up to the east side. Okay. Let's see. Douglas says Vietnam beat the Mughals by hit and run missions and cutting supply lines and using traps. It's a trap. Anyways, I'm going to put that on here. Put a button. It's a trap. That way, if we do start talking a bit into politics, I guarantee I'll be using that more often. Anyway, where was I? But yeah, that's the key thing, is cutting the supply lines. That's what they did over in Ukraine, because, well, not really politics, just military strategy. Russia was designed for defensive, not offensive. For offensive, they were completely and totally lost. Even if everything they had worked, it wouldn't have mattered. Their whole thing was the supply lines never extend; they only get shorter as you're drawing people in and wearing them down over time, and then you just bum rush them once they start getting to a certain point. It's called a baited ambush. You're pulling them into the area you want them to be in, and then you just go over them. Let's see. Lena says, Star Trek 4, The Wrath of Musk. Why not? That'd be hilarious. Somebody should make that into a CGI pun, or not pun, satire movie. That would be hilarious. See, Gart says, if you think that's bad, Stephen King is also getting canceled because he couldn't stay out of politics too, which is kind of sad because I liked him. I would, if it wasn't for the fact that reading his books put me to sleep. I know a lot of people like the suspense, and for his time, which was back in the 80s, that type of suspense was never fully done. He's a master of suspense. The problem is, if you're sitting there and you're just screaming at the TV, going, get on with it. Where's the monster? What's going on? Where you're dragging us? I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to go get my groceries. I'm going to come back. And then, you're probably still going to be moving around the house, waiting for the first guy to die, who's always black. And it's just, and everything's set in Maine because that's where he's from. I know you got to write what you know, but come on. Yeah. If I want a suspense movie, I'll watch a Stephen King movie or read one of his books. But that's just me. Let's see. Alina says, in anime Apocalypse Bringer, every character is like from a different video game, and they all have memories of their original games. That's That's interesting. If you I don't know enough of the games, but I have a feeling that'd be kind of fun. The only thing is there are some characters in games like Cloud from Final Fantasy. He's so overpowered, he's basically God once he gets all his sword pieces together and all that materia. Let's see. Demon says, oh yeah, the playlist for Unknown Fleet is still backwards, by the way. Really? I set it up specifically so it was the other way around. Oh, fuck you, YouTube. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I need a bit of a break. So let's watch one of these guys just, I don't know, shoot a bunch of shit.
I'm supposed to say he's behind you.
Well, one of you are spawning on me, so
Yeah.
good game. Me? Nope, I'm getting shot now.
Oh, I just got that shell right in that doorway.
Climb the pole. I want to be a pole dancer.
God damn it, dude. I don't think we're gonna do this.
We still have 30, so we can still manage.
Yes,
we did it.
win.
We finally got a win.
Yes, they finally got a win. All right. Let me run back to the comment section here. Why does this thing jump every single time? I swear, I'm going to freaking break this thing eventually. Okay, here we go. Let's see. MTF Guard saying, you know what? At this rate, I'm going to go into Rule 34 and collect a couple of hold on. Nope, not that one. This one. Butt pictures. For you. And there's more than enough pics there that are safe for YouTube. I question that, honestly. You'd be amazed how many times I literally, for some of these, went in and I was looking for video games. I like video game butts, and all I saw was bare asses. Okay. I actually know somebody personally. He got in trouble from YouTube. He had to go in and erase his entire video because when he did his butt, the girl had her hands on her waist. And if you look close, you could see that she was wearing a thong. But you would have to look very close. There was only one little spot where you could see the string. You could not see the string as it went vertical. And he got a strike because of that. Now he removed it and the strike was removed, but still it was a whole messed up thing. So let's see. Demon says, forgive me, I'm super tired. Had a doctor's appointment today. Had to call the IRS. Oh man, your blood pressure must be through the roof. And had to deal with YouTube over the comments issue. Went to bed super late, but I still got up on time. Dude, you're just running crazy, man. I mean, I had a long day, but that's because I didn't sleep good last night, if I slept at all. But still, that's a lot of running around. Let's see, down here. Douglas, he says, weird. Some comments I'm not seeing at all. Really? I don't know what to tell you on that one. YouTube's weird, and a lot of people are having problems with StreamYards now. I might have to upgrade to a different service. I really don't know what to tell you on that. Guard says, exit out of YouTube, swipe it away, and hook back to the app. And what I did, and I wasn't seeing people's comments. You know what? I don't know. I know on a different site when that sort of thing happens, you actually have to go to the bottom and add all the chats back on, but I don't think YouTube does that. And yes, Steven, I think YouTube has a lot of bugs. They got crabs. They got the scotchy chingos, man. Erica says, my guess is 23. 2 plus 3 equals 5 plus 9 equals 14 equals greater or less than greater than 1 plus 4 equals 5. This is based off basic numerology. 5 means to serve, new starts, beginnings, change, or freedom. My idea is the beast will come into full power, or the beast dies. Well, I actually just sent something talking about the beast to another friend's channel, and the thing is, when I look at the beast, I'm not talking Mark of the Beast. I'm talking about the beast that has been collared and been staying underneath the porch for right now. But with the whole thing going on with the assassin's bullet and other people just going ape shit saying, oh, he had it coming, he deserved it, and this, that, and the other thing, it's to the, and there's more going on, and it's so bad that if that beast breaks its chains, you will not like what happens. Will freedom return? Yes. But as they say, the tree of liberty must be watered from time to time with the blood of terrorists and patriots alike. And I didn't think I'd be around to see it, and I just might. Actually, no, I kind of knew I'd be around to see it because I'm not going to die. Anyways, Lena says, I do know a lot of facts about One Piece planet being a large ocean planet. It's the size of Jupiter. Wow. Then how does anybody get tall? The gravity on that planet's nuts. If that's true, then anything that goes down their version of a Marianas Trench would simply go squish. I mean, the pressure down there has got to be insane. Because they have one hell of a gravity well. Anyways, Demon says, I have a week off work between jobs, so my goal is to put my thoughts together and organize for a possible season 2 and send them to you soon. Plus, I look forward to possibly seeing the Dreadnoughts. Well, I have no fear at the moment, so I guess I'm a Dreadnought. Okay. Seeing the Dreadnought use their most powerful weapons. Yeah, they were trying to salvage the planet, not blow it up. Which is the reason why, and for those of you guys who don't know, when Demon sent me the whole thing about the different ships, he did mention the Dreadnought's primary weapon. When I looked at the stats and how the damn thing was going to work, just the back blast alone, not the recoil, but the shockwave from when it actually hit something. If you shot it at our moon, Earth wouldn't be here. That's how strong that son of a bitch was. It's just crazy. I'll have to reread it just to make sure everything is right. But that's the reason why I was like, nope, can't use that part. If you do, you're no. Okay. Lena says, oh, the guy who draws anime girl tanks released a new video with F-15 Eagle anime girl. I don't know what type of drawing that is called. All I know is when Sacred Cow Shipyards did his thing about the Architens cruiser from Star Wars. He came across one of those. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's like one of the only times he just curses straight up. Yeah, should put those on Azure Lane. You guys like that so much. Let's see. Erica's talking to Demon. Let's see. Erica. Malarkey, the best example of nepotism. And yes, I'm going to keep calling it malarkey despite you actually spelling it correctly there, Erica. But yeah, you're right. You're right. And the kicker is, you got some shows that just tell you the truth. Sometimes it's usually through a side character, and that one scene, that one line becomes iconic. Just like Game of Thrones, when Bronn is looking at the two Lannister brothers and he's holding a crossbow, he's like, "You really think Jamie Lannister is like, you really think I'd give this cutthroat a castle?" He's like, "Why not? Your ancestors were cutthroat killers like me. You kill enough people, you get knighted. You kill enough people, you kill even more people, they give you a crown." And he's right. See, Lena says Fallout 4 is a good game and makes fun too. Okay. I've never played Fallout. I see it, but I never actually played it. Gartz says, I know it ain't Frankie because first off, Frankie is a guy. And second off, Frankie ain't going to be introduced till the 3rd or 4th season if it goes that far. Okay. I'm not a fan of the show, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe I'll write it down next time. I think I tried to write it down. I just screwed up the name. What do you mean another settlement needs my help? Dude, send me an email if you need something, Demon. I will jump on the bandwagon with you. Okay, it's down there in the box down there. Follow my finger. Keep going. Right in the crab shack. And just let me know what's going on. Lena says, I think Mark Hamill is completely unhinged. Oh, he unhinged a while ago. We just waited for a windstorm to blow that door off. Yeah, he's... what's the technical term? Oh, yeah. Guardian says, do you think they should make it a capital offense to be an idiot? Well, if they made it a capital offense to be an idiot, we'd all be on the chopping block a few times in our lives. That's true. I do think if you can be proven incompetent, then you should be removed from public office. Of course, that would clear out about, 70-80% of them. Like right off the bat. Or found out that you clearly do not have the government's best interest in heart, i.e. the people's best interest. If that can be proven, then you should catch the boot. Erica says, Mark Hamill's acting like he is saying things that he doesn't believe. He's an actor. He's supposed to say things he's not supposed to believe. Yeah. Anyways, Douglas here, he says, you might want to keep your eye on your blood sugar, Sin. Diabetes, one symptom is constant. Well, no, I put a lot of salt on my food. Yeah, I've been watching my blood sugar a lot. I've been watching my blood pressure too. I gotta ease up. I'm back in the gym, guys. It's just the how do I put this? I'm on week 2, which isn't very far in, and at my age, I can't just jump in and just start throwing heavy weights again. I used to. But yeah, I'd end up having some Russian guy tell me, your powerlifting days are done. If you keep doing that, you're going to die. But no, I'm on the treadmill like 4 or 5 times a week now. And trying to get all that stuff down. But as far as the constant drinking, that was the leftover pasta from last night. And last night, I put down almost an entire gallon of water. I was up all night pissing. Thankfully, I got out of bed first, but still. Let's see. Guard says, I love it when I go to bomb a group of enemies in War Thunder when I play arcade mode, because by getting a certain amount of assists or kills, you can go as a fighter, light bomber, or a heavy bomber. And the fuse is either like 10 seconds long for some stupid reason, or they have spawn protection. So a 10,000-pound bomb I just dropped on them just explodes and does nothing. Continues with Halo is truly lost unless they replace pretty much everything at 343 Industries. They have to replace everybody at 343 Industries. They have clearly said that they hate Halo. They do not like the story. Even when asked if they read the books, one of them said, "What books?" I'm like, my head hurts. You got to at least read the first 3, at bare minimum, the first 3. After that, they get beyond stupid. Let's see. They literally put someone who gets physically sick at the sight of a firearm in charge of video game for firearms. Wow. Yep, I heard about that. Erica says, Cynic, I can't help that I put points together to make a picture. It's a gift and a curse. Oh, yeah. Hey, if you have a gift, you have to work with it. I mean, me personally, I'm more of an empath than anything else. And like the guy who could see the future in Men in Black, I think it was 3, he says, it's a giant pain in the ass, but it has its moments. Let's see. Gart says, I'm going to say it here soon if Emperor... Hold on. I'm going to say it here soon. If the Emperor to himself, Malkador, and Erda, a.k.a. the Emperor's wife, and the Primarch's mother, can't make female space friends, no one can. I would say so. They would have infinite amount of supplies to do that. Unless they just pull someone in who goes, I have an idea. It works. They could try that, which I'd hate to say it, but that does work. To a point. Lena says, I think if Russia wanted to attack Poland, they would not do it with drones. Well, the only way they could actually hit Poland is from that tiny, tiny sliver of land they have just north of Poland. And if they did that, they would be completely surrounded by NATO. Literally you can't even retreat to the sea. They would have a Navy blockade on them in a matter of hours. And then all their necessary infrastructure would simply go kablooey. See, Erica says, The Wrath of Must sounds like a good parody. Yes, it does. It really does. Let's see. Guard says he continued from his previous one here. Not even Fabius File or Crawl, who have modified the gene seed for Space Marines, but usually the gene seed is extremely unstable. Crawl got lucky with the Primus Marines, and he emphasized that luck. See, I don't know much of the lore, so this is all news to me. Wars Number says, Sin, you really need new clips. Yes, I do. Send them in. Send them in. Anything with about a minute and a half or less. I'll see what I can put them in, because the longest one I got going is, let me check. I'm going to say this exactly right. Let's see. That one's a minute 22. That one's a minute 12. So a minute 22 is the longest one I got. All the rest of them are about 30 seconds. Well, except for one where someone, I won't mention who, Demon, hates planes and decides to shoot them out of the air with heavy artillery. Even though those things are made of basically balsa wood and canvas. Let's see. Demon says, yeah, the IRS sent me a letter saying they received my payment, but had no records of my payment. So I had to find out what that was about. Yeah, I would say so. See, whenever I deal with the IRS, I always end up having to pay a professional. And honestly, I paid a professional more than I got back in any return, but I got everything cleared up. And it's just a pain. All right. Oh, yeah, Ava's here. Look out. Here she comes. Ava's here. And she's looking like she's going to shoot. Hey, good to see you, Ava. Everybody's saying hi here. Let me scroll down. Local anesthetic. And pots don't. I am leaving that alone. Let's see. Ava put in here Earth's gravity is 9.8 meters. Jupiter's gravity is 24.79 meters, making gravity of Jupiter actually livable. Okay, I must have got, if I'm not debating you, I must have got some bad intel then. Because as I understood it, if you got down towards the core where if you condense the actual gas clouds where actual like land would be, the amount of gravity that would be there would be to the point where it would pretty much just paste you to the ground. Okay, but yeah, that's basically twice as much. So everybody here would be like 2.3% or times as much. Still kind of heavy. Guard says, "Oh hey, whoever was sending the Battlefield clip, I'm getting the game back if you want to play anytime." That was Demon. Ava saying, "MTF, I haven't been part of the stream for a while, namely due to being busy." Okay. Or sleeping. Hey, I'm not going to force anybody to sit here and watch this ugly mug. And do you wonder why that is? Because I don't care. Anyway. Let's see. Warsnap saying, Erica and Ava are my two cosplay ladies. You know, I was about to put that furry kitsune butt in here. You know, I could actually do that if that works for you. Hold on. Let me, oh, shit. Hold on. Wrong file. There's one for you. A poofy butt. And that's even 9 tails, by the way, if you actually count, because the one on the left is actually sort of kind of blocking one because it looks like 8, but that's actually 9. All right. Yeah, there you go. Demon saying he's got on PlayStation. Oh, and he was the Battlefield. Yep. Yeah, it's good to see you here, Ava. It's everybody's chiming in. You know who we're also missing is the Sir. I haven't seen him in a while either. Hope he's doing okay. And let's see. Ava saying, "I'm fine. Sadly, Pots won't go away, but hold on. But good news, I'm getting my motorcycle in 3 to 4 months." Okay, so right as the springtime starts coming up. That ought to be good. Let's see. Lane, it says, maybe we would see a new season of Spy Family. What? Okay, I'm not sure if I have seen that Spy Family. Erica. Yep. Erica's right. I hope you have fun with it. I'm not much of a rider myself. Let's see. Warsnap says, "I have only one dinner. I use a lot of salt on the Maggie. Do give taste, but not enough. So need to be salty." If you're worried about me drinking too much, that's because what was in the pasta. Not only was a jar of my sister's salsa in there, which for some reason has a lot of sodium, but there was some sausage that wasn't homemade, and it's very, very, it pulls a lot of moisture out of you. Let's just leave it at that. It also causes a lot of problems on the other way. Let's see. Erica says, Lena, it's coming out in October. Okay. Good. Lena's here saying, I mean, Halo story basically over. They have nothing to do after the war, except reconstruction efforts. The kicker is, if I was in charge of the story for Halo after Halo 3, you know, when Cortana kind of sacrificed her, or is it 4, where she sacrificed herself, all you had to do was switch the format to where her consciousness got divided in all those little pieces that she divided herself into, and you have to collect all of them up like freaking Pokemon. You got to collect them all to bring her back to together again. But you got to go to different Forerunner planets. You got to go to different Elite planets. You got to go to the Grunt home world. You know, you get them all around, and he's just walking up in these cinematics where he walks up and he finds an old terminal, and he finds, you know, her, and he's just like, he pulls out his chip, and he has the two, and they kind of merge together. I mean, that would kind of be nightmare fuel, where they're merging together instead of coming apart. And then he just kind of, you know, slides that sucker back in, turns and walks off. It's just like nothing happened. But if done right, you know, just have him stand up just a little bit straighter, like, okay, yep, I got one more piece. There we go. One piece down, about 200 to go, but let's do this. You know. But no, nobody asked me. Let's see. Leonard also says, it's like Mass Effect Trilogy. I hate to say it, just bury the franchise. Yeah. I didn't get to play it. I did see some of the cinematics. Some of the cinematics for the first one are really good. And then everybody's like, does this cinematic make sense? I'm like, okay, what is, and then they show the 3 different endings, which are almost identical to each other. But not quite identical, but close enough. 2 of them in particular, all they did was change the color, and that was it. I was like, really? Guards here says, that's why I would say if the Covenant didn't return, because actually something that Bungie had hinted at was that we were not looking at the full fleet. Well, that's actually true. The schism of the Covenant is what actually knocked down their numbers, which is believable. And they actually put that in because they're using a lot of older ships. A lot of frigates that have been mothballed have been brought back into frontline service. So a lot of like their super carriers were gone, and now everybody's more or less on the same footing, technologically speaking. Let's see. Guard says, turns out a quarter of the Covenant fleet was stuck inside of a shield world. How the hell's that work? Because Halo was a shield world. I don't get it. It continues, but they were stuck there for a reason, because they found out the truth and the prophets sealed them in there. Now they got out and they still want to take out humanity just out of spite. Not good. Not good. It continues with, but now they also have to fight the Banished, who just found out about their existence, and Atriox is not happy. He spent so long making sure the Covenant could never come back on its feet again, only to find out that they're back. First thing he did was immediately destroy half the room after he told everybody to leave it. Yeah, I could see that. I'd be pissed too if all my work just went to shit. Which is what happened about a week ago when I was putting all those sound effects in, and I don't know what happened. Everything shifted sideways. Nothing matched up, and it all went to shit, and I had to start over from scratch. It was a disaster. Douglas up here, he says, in Warhammer, when Malkador sat on the Emperor's throne from him when the Emperor was duking it with Horus, Malkador was lethally fried by the throne. Oh, what a shocking experience. I'm sure it was. Either that or that was one hell of a fart. It was saying it's the pressure of the gas and liquid that could kill you first on Jupiter. Yeah, I believe that one. That and the heat. Don't want too much heat in a hydrogen-rich atmosphere. That'd be bad. Lena says, Fuso, glorious dreadnought of the sea. Oh, the Fuso, glorious dreadnought. Okay, yeah. See, Ava says, wrong file. Oh, no. Even one run sin went to the wrong folder. Oh, shit. Are you sending me a video, or are you sending me a picture? You won't get anything on that till next week. Hold on, let me get this right. Where was I? I'll do this one, but I will have it up next week. I don't delete the videos off of here. I've done that once for the very first set of videos that was sent, first like 10, but that's it. There's War Sniper with the foofy tails, man. He loves the foofy tails. Demon says, I have an idea to a prequel for the drone fleet. Oh, God. And ideas for season 2. I just pray I have enough time to put them together, before I go full night shift at my new job. Of course, 55-hour weeks will be brutal. No shit. Boy. That's just harsh, man. Erica says, ironically, the best thing Halo did was pre-infinite banished. It made so much sense as the reason humanity wasn't wiped out instantly, but they didn't flesh it out well enough. That's true. They didn't flesh it out because one of the things they had to do was they got about halfway done with Halo Wars 2, and they had to scrap it because of a certain group of personnel who decided to go in and say, you need to do this with your game or we're going to sue you. And I don't know. They might think they're babies or something sweet, but it's definitely an incorporated, but they just screwed everything up. It had to be redone. And that's why you lost Serena. And the doctor doesn't even look like the doctor from the first one. And by the way, why did the captain age when he was in cryo? It doesn't make any sense. So they switched Serena to the new AI and then focused all the attention on the AI instead of the Spartans like they should have. Which I'm like, why? It's not why we play the fucking game. And because of that, they couldn't flush out more of the banished, which is unfortunate because you're right. It does make a lot of sense that if they're fighting a multi-front war, they wouldn't be able to push straight into human territory or spread out really quick until they find where the human territory is and then just focus on that, take that over, spread out, find them, keep going until they find the home world, which is pretty much the only way to do it. Let's see. Lena says, to me, Spy Family is a very fun show with a fake family consisting of a spy, an assassin, and their adopted daughter, and the dog is a telepath. The dog is the telepath? I thought the daughter was the telepath. As I was reading this, it hit me. And I'm just like, wow, that's I only saw one little bit of the show, and I think it's the wife is the assassin and the husband's the spy. Well, it's a fake family. He's falling for her, so he wants to take her on a date. Doesn't realize she was working the night before. He wants to take her out for a drive, and she's like, can we walk instead? And as they're walking, he's like, why don't we sit down at this coffee shop? She doesn't want to sit down the whole time, and he's trying to figure out why. And she's like, oh, God, I hope he doesn't realize I was out working and I got shot in the ass. I'm like, that's just funny. That's, oh, man. Well, I guess in one way or another, she got something offloaded into her ass. I mean, that was just a funny thing to see. Then again, I didn't have time to watch the whole series. I wanted to, but I just don't have the time. Guard says, God, my male goat Freddy is in rut. Oh, shit. And I can smell him up from my... Yeah, I would think so. for those of you guys who don't know what the rut is, it's basically the heat for male ungulates. Anything that actually like eats nothing but grass, like deer or moose or anything like that. If they're in rut, they are very, very, well, for lack of a better term, dangerous. They will hurt you. They'll kill you if they if they even think you're anywhere close to them. Which is why when the moose are in rut, most people just don't go camping. It's too high of a risk because they will tear apart a actual camper to get at you. And they are just hundreds or thousands of pounds of raging testosterone. Now you would think some people would be like, oh, that ought to be fun. No. You'll be put up a tree. Then they'll knock the tree down just to crush you. Guard continues with, keep in mind, I have them separated from my 2 pigs, and there's a solid 50 feet between the front porch and their pen. And his ass is at the bottom of the hill, which is another 60 feet. And I can smell him from here. Jesus Christ, it's making my eyes water. I would think so. Most billy goats are very messy. When they shit, they like to flip their tails, and it just goes everywhere. Just everywhere. Ava's here saying, I worked an 80-hour week once, and never again. Yeah, been there, done that. Don't forget, I used to be in the service, so there are a couple times I've gone several days and you just don't stop, or you're not allowed to move. You just got to stay at that one patrol base, and you can't sleep, so you're standing up most of the time. After a while, you're looking out into the dark, you're watching the trees are waving at you, the rocks are crawling across the ground. You can swear somebody's talking behind your ear, but you turn around, there's never anybody there. You're like, what the hell? You're delusional. And you're cracking up because you feel like you're drunk. The worst, though, the absolute worst, at least for me, is we were coming out of the field. Now, when you're in the field, you don't get all that much sleep because you're moving around if the NCOs know what you're doing or know what to do. And my XO, executive officer, who's prior special forces, says, we're going to do 5 days of fun. Well, thankfully, he screwed up, didn't realize we had Friday off. So it was 4 days of fun. It was a 4-day movement to contact, i.e., you have everything on you, on your back, and you don't stop walking. We walked for 4 days straight with almost no breaks. If you leaned over, if you took your ruck off, put it down, and the first person to do a whole thing, and it's okay, everybody on your feet, let's go. You're just like, oh, son of a bitch. And we walked all the way from the far side of the Hawaiian island all the way. We were doing circles. And we ended up back at Schofield Base. And it's the only time I've ever heard that man say, day 1, the weapons, heavy dirt, dust, rust, and carbon, get him in the arms room. I'm like, he must really be in a hurry to get out of here. And I don't know if you guys ever seen the scene from the Pacific where the guys go out drinking and the next day they, have the bugle call and everyone's standing there and people are just falling over. That's what we looked like. I still remember holding one guy up. I'm like, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Dude, stop falling asleep. Just stand there. Get up there. It was so bad that a lot of guys would get in their cars to drive and you would just hear them lock the brakes because they started doing the whole thing where they started to fall asleep and they jerked out. So, oh, shit. And the guys who were lucky were able to get their wives to come and drive them back. I lucked out. I got back to my barracks room. I remember passing one guy. He's literally back up against the fire hydrant, and he's just passed out solid. He's just out cold. I got back, threw all my stuff in the laundry bag, went and took a 1, 2, 3 shower, came back out, and I smelled that laundry bag. Suddenly, I'm awake because everything just reeks. Throw everything in the bag, cinch it, close the door, and just as I turn, my legs give. And I just drop down to all fours. I crawl over the beanbag chair I bought. It was just in front of the fan that's facing the other direction. I reach up, grab the blanket, pull, and that's the last I remember. I woke up and I thought it was 3 hours later. No, it was 27 hours later. I was laying there for that long. That's bad. That is just bad. Speaking of bad, MTF Guard is talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And he says, well, Jimmy Kimmel just watched it show over all the stuff that happened. Yeah, he's a douche. I can actually tell you the exact moment him and Adam Carolla stopped being friends. And it was just this ad-libbed line that Carolla did where Kimmel sat down during the Man Show. He's like, oh, little adjustment here, because sometimes we got to do that. And Carolla goes, oh, that won't take long. Look at Kimmel's eyes when that happens. He was beyond pissed. And that was the last season they were together. Let's see. Shifting gears here. Demon says, yeah, 55-hour weeks are mandatory. Sunday is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Monday through Thursday is 6 to 6. So, yeah, 55-hour weeks. God damn, I hope you're getting good overtime on that shit. Oof. 3 years ago, you're probably still recovering from that, even after 3 years ago there, Ava. Lena says, yeah, the dog is like, can predict the future. Oh, okay, so he's talking about Spy Family. Okay. In Spy Family, the dog is like, can predict the future, and then the daughter can see whatever visions the dog can see. Okay, Alan says, that was as bad as a Purple Heart for rear injury. You mean the purple ass? You gotta turn it upside down so it's an ass. Oh shit. Erica says, if animals are in rut, don't let menstruating women near. Oh God, yeah, they will freak. I mean, they get very, very aggressive, to say the least. And sometimes it's not like horny aggressive, just generally want to hurt things, just to hurt things. Demon says, my worst record for work was 120 hours. How the hell did you pull that off? Because that's all the hours in the week. And it says 120 hours a week for 8 months straight. Never again. Worked at a Pizza Hut as a RMG, a regional manager, and I was running 4 stores open to close 7 days a week. So basically, you just never left. You had to smell. It's a good thing you smelled the pizza, man, or else you would have smelled very, very ripe. Alan says, try to explain that at the local VFW poster bar. Yeah, or VA post bar. Yeah. Yeah, I would wonder how much, if you got it, how you got sleep there, but let's see. Guard also says, I mean, I don't have to worry about the women thing, Erica. I live alone. I don't, but I got family members living in the house with me, so let's see. Guard says, Leafly fried by the throne, atomized by the throne in 20 minutes. Yeah, that's how long it took for the emperor to fight Horus and take him out and come back in 20 minutes to find him like this. You do the, sir, sorry, I sat down on your throne. Can you get me off of here? Let's see. Lena says, I know that there's a video on YouTube with a 240,000 volts electric plasma gun. Yeah, I saw that. Didn't it explode in the guy's hand once when he tried to use it? Guard continuing about the shocking experience. Says, and by the time he came back, the only thing left of Malcador was his robes in a pile of dust that was slowly fading away like a fart in the wind. Demon says, it was about 4 hours a night, if that. I was beyond miserable. That's why I quit that job. 2 of the stores I was running closed when I quit. Yeah, that's because they're leaning on you that hard. I could see that. You know, we've all been there. And you can kind of take a little bit of pride in that, knowing that you're the reason that everything kept going. But the fact that they couldn't actually keep it going, well, that's on them. And if it's not your problem, fuck them. Fuck them with the ass with a big rubber dick. No one gives a shit. Let's see. Guard says, also, since Nintendo got their grubby little rat claws on that patent, they're now going on the full-scale offense against multiple U.S. and even Russian enduring gaming companies. The targeting Elden Ring for having the ability to summon spirits to fight by your side, and because you get to ride Torrent, and they're suing the company that made World of Warcraft for that too. Wow. It's like they're suing everybody into the ground for what? He continues, says, problem being is that those games existed before they owned the rights to it. Though that patent, through that patent. So the entire lawsuit are null and void because that's how it works. Yep. Gotta love a legal loophole, especially in your favor. If you get a patent for something, you cannot sue content that existed before that. Yep. Before that patent, because they made it when the patent was still for everybody. Yep. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was thinking work week. You're right, it's 168 hours. That was silly of me for not doing that. But yeah, basically, if you did the hours you worked, they would come out to 5 days of 24-hour shifts. That's where my mind was. Okay. Let's see. Guard says, oh yeah, the reason why they gave the new AI so much more content is because apparently she's like Cortana. She was made by scanning Halsey's brain. Yep. Actually, they were both made from Halsey. In the lore, only two Cortana. She made copies of her own brain to create the Cortanas, and only two survived, or two proto brains survived. So. That's why she expresses so much more emotion compared to most other AIs in the series. Same thing with the Infinite's AI, which we somehow don't see in, but it is in the others. Okay. Which doesn't make sense because Spartan Ops happens before and during Halo 4, and he was there. So where did he go? Was he on the John when Cortana was losing her marbles? I don't know. There's so many holes in the actual game. It's crazy. Oddly enough, if you read the first book for Halo, you actually find out why you're going through that whole. When you first follow 343 to the library, you find a dead Marine with a shit ton of ammo and weapons. And you're like, where the hell did this guy come from? It's actually answered in the books. And even Master Chief sits there and goes, in his mind, says, you would have made a hell of a Spartan if you got this far by yourself. He's not wrong. Okay, Ava says, remember, Malkador is a perpetual meaning. He's out there somewhere in the ether. Guard continues his statement with, but even if we stated it was to take much longer than 10,000 years to come back, unlike if it was the Emperor, because the Emperor was stronger than Malkador by a very, very large margin. Lena jumps in. He says, no, it's like a plasma gun and a big tower that fries electronics very good. Okay. Ava's jumping in here. Did Nintendo stock prices just hit the floor, or was the crashing sound the bottom line? The answer is yes. they when the Switch 2 came out and they bricked a whole bunch of Switch 2s because people were like, you know how you take the handle off the side, the little controller, if you grabbed a controller from somebody else's and put on, it would read that as unauthorized equipment, instantly shut everything down. Now, I kind of feel like a jerk when I was going into the last time I was in the Best Buy and I saw some kid, he was so happy about having a Switch 2. I was about to say something, but I didn't because I didn't want to ruin their day. And I can pretty much guarantee that kid's Switch is overpriced paperweight right now. Demon says, I will not buy anything Nintendo related because of that. Yeah. Ava says, time for some quick physics. Voltage is velocity and flow amperage is the amount of energy per unit. Wattage is the state of flow. And amperage arc, oh, hold on a second, used in welding, and hella scary. A voltage arc is nothing to be scared of. See, on that one, you obviously know your stuff. I always say that I make it a little nervous because, as is informed to me, voltage is the pressure, which is why if you touch a electric fence, that pulse that you get that hurts, that's the voltage coming in you, not the amperage or wattage or anything like that. So even though voltage officially won't do anything, still keeps me close, or still keeps me watching. Plus, friend of a friend around here, when I was actually friend of a family friend, if you want to get technical, he was working on one of the substations around here. I don't know how he did it, but somehow he got his hands on whatever the hell it was that sent all the voltage into him. It went through his body, out his left foot, and about halfway down his calf through his foot, it literally exploded from the voltage pressure. And honestly, I didn't think that was possible. The weird thing is, it didn't really touch anything else on the way through. At least we don't think. And as far as amperage, yeah, be afraid, be very afraid. Okay, Lena says, in Apocalypse Bringer, I don't really know I don't really know what is going on anymore. They have admitted the character dying 14 times, and then she just comes back to life. Well, is she too angry to die? Is she a member of the Black Watch? What's going on here? Demon saying Nintendo is basically declaring war on all other gaming companies because they either, one, want to be ruined, or two, think they are untouchable. Yeah, they're going to get touched all over for sure. Ava saying smart electricity doesn't play favorites. Yeah, I don't want a smart meter, that's for sure. Oh, Guard must have made his own food. Gotta love homemade chicken with breading. I can definitely say it. I know how to make some homemade breaded chicken. That's excellent. All right. Guard saying, oh yeah, say something funny for the Mandalorian. Say something funny for the Mandalorian. Hey, Mando, you would have won if you actually used solid slugs. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, to me, Mandalorian is kind of a mundanalorian because he's basically like the old show The Virginian. The only thing, the Virginian didn't have a little cute green turd following him around. And, the thing is, there's really no stakes in the Mandalorian anymore. Now he's got a full body Beskar suit. I mean, you can't take the guy out. He just runs through everything. Let's see. Oh shit. Guard says the baby Yoda is everyone else's species. Hold on. Why? Bleh. The baby Yoda's to everyone else species. Wise is old enough to drink for his species, but he's not old enough to speak his ABCs. Hey, I'm glad you're not a clanker, Mando. Demon saying season 2, the fleet contacts home for extermination mission. Maybe. Dude, send whatever you want. I will adjust it for what I can do. And yeah. This is the way. Literally, you can get him to do anything by saying, this is the way. I'd rather do the, I have spoken. And that was actually funny. Let's see. Coming down to the bottom here. Let me see about media assets. How about, oh, I don't know. Let's, is this the plane?
They're in our base.
Got it. Oh, hell yeah. That was beautiful. Oh, I see him. Boom. 1 down.
And again.
2 down.
Enemy coordinates have been sent to
Enjoying your booster shots? Well, the idiots on our team unlocked the door and ran out of it.
Yeah.
And armored vehicle is down. When the fuck did they arm A?
B's the important one, in my opinion.
All right. As I look over and I wonder how many assholes do we have on the ship anyway, I'm looking around and seeing we are getting at the bottom of the chats here. And yeah, general manager is one of the worst things. And yeah, I see you're leaving, Ava. I'm just going to say one quick joke I heard a long time ago, and then we're going to end with a safety brief. It makes you wonder, and Ava, you're going to get a kick out of this. Why is it a woman's downstairs mix-up is slit up and down instead of side to side? So when you slide down a banister, they don't go. All right. Safety brief, everybody. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. If your little soldier's going in the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. If you're going to have anything stronger than a drink, as in anything like, you know, booger sugar or anything like that, do yourself a favor. Don't. Also, be careful on the roads, guys. There's a lot of critters moving around. It is autumn, which means you're going to have a lot of the younger deer and a lot of the not quite old enough critters going about. Just be aware of that. If you see one, there's probably another. Slow down. Aside from that, I don't have too much else for you guys. You guys have been fucking awesome. You guys are the most awesomest of awesomeness, and I'll leave that up on the screen. And aside from that, I want you guys to all take care of yourselves. All right. I'll give my final toast to all of you for being here. Thank you. And take care. And I'll see y'all next time here on Syntax Live. This is your host, and I'm punching out.